Okay, so when we're going to add with algebra tiles, we would have, first of all, we have to have our key. So we're going to have +1 and -1. These are our positives. These are our negatives. So when we add with algebra tiles, if we would have +2 plus +1. Okay, first of all, these are called terms. Terms are separated by the plus or minus. So this is a term and this is a term. So we're adding two terms. These are actually called like terms because they're both numbers, constants that don't change. So here we have two positives. We've got our two oranges, and here we have one positive, and we put them together. It's going to equal 3 positives. Now, other ways you may see that is we don't have to put the positive in front because we know we're always dealing with positive numbers. So we can use these without the positives, but we are adding. We're always combining terms. So you could look at it like this. You're always combining terms, +1. So 2 plus 1 equals 3 would also be something you could use. Now, if you were using the negatives, it would have been the same thing. It's just the signs would have changed. So -2 adding -1. We're still adding these, but here we would have had -3, and we would have needed the -3. So here our term is -2. We need the negative to keep it so we know it's not negative, so that it is negative. Here its term is -1. We need to keep that. So you could have it with the parentheses, you could have it without the parentheses. Now we are lazy people, so we can also write it like this, -2 minus 1. Because we said, we don't feel like writing all of this down every time. This is the proper way to write it, but we don't want to write this down every time. So we know we're always adding, so we separated this to we are always adding. So now it's -2 plus -1, and we renamed it as -2 minus 1 because the sign has to stay with the digit in front of it. So the sign in front must stay with it. So -2 is still -2. We're adding -1, -1, but we read it as -2 minus 1, and it's still going to give us -3 because we have two negatives and another negative. So this is lazy math because people got tired of writing all the parentheses, but it's still the same thing because you are still adding these two terms, you're adding these two terms, you're adding these two terms.